6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Through Black and White Eyes for the Fulltyne live reaction from the very good point in my eyes against a very strong, stubborn, played the ball quite well Wolves team. But we're going to get into it all. If you'd like to become a member tonight, don't forget the link is in the top of the chat. So if you would like to become a member, click on it. 99p, 199, 299, 499. Lots of different options. We're giving away a brand new Newcastle top next month to one lucky paying member. So looking forward to do that. Please hit the thumbs up, either on your way out or on your way in, or whenever you want to hit it. Just please hit it. Mark says, evening, guys. He's got one question. With Bruno missing today, was there a risk Wednesday when the tackles were flying in? We'll come to that. Blade says, evening all, and evening Mick as well. Thanks for joining. Right, first of all, Gary is missing tonight because he's unfortunately had a family emergency, so we hope everything's okay. And Maro's going to be a little bit late. But we've got Liam. Good evening,
Hello.
Liam.
How we doing?
I'm good, you?
I'm hanging. I'm getting there.
I'm sweating as well after that match, but this is why we're here. This is what we're talking about. So obviously it was a 1-1 final result. We're going to dive into it straight away. This was the team lineup. Almost called it right. I did say Target wouldn't start. I did say he would reward Burn after his performance against Man City, and if he was allowed to play, he would play. The only one that we're obviously shocked about, and we all heard about quite early in the morning. I was in bed for most of the morning, and I only caught it when I got out of bed, that Bruno was missing. And Sean Longstaff took his place. And as we expected, well, I did, Chris Wood to start up front. But the one thing we didn't expect was that Isaac, his registration for his work permit didn't come through quick enough, Liam. So we'll start with the work permit situation. Who the hell has made a mistake there? Is it the club? Is it the Premier League? Is it the government?
Well, when I was looking earlier on, when I woke up and seen obviously that Bruno wasn't there, then I was like, why is Isaac not there? Someone said something about blaming it on Brexit or something to do with that.
Still blaming things on Brexit.
Apparently Brexit. Apparently it's making things delayed still, but just.
This is a Premier League football club paying massive wages, paying massive taxes to the government. Surely things like this takes priority. I mean, we're talking about a £60 million player not being able to play because the government can't get some paperwork done fast enough. It's disgraceful. Surely there's backhanders done. You know, come on, get that through a bit quicker. This is the Tory government after all. They do take money from us.
Certainly do. Plus probably bank holiday weekend playing that factor in as well.
Probably, yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me. The ref today had a shock and no surprise, as we seem to get them regularly. We'll come on to that a little bit later. And good evening, guys, from Dougie. Evening, Dougie. Happy birthday to your daughter tomorrow, who's 21, who's out in York at the moment, getting pissed with her partner. I hope she has a good birthday. We all know Boris is a Mackham. There we go. The other surprise was obviously Bruno was missing. Now there's a couple of rumours going around. One, his missus is in labour. He's just about to become a dad. I don't know how true that is because the last pictures I've seen of her, she wasn't exactly showing massively like she'd been pregnant for 9 months. But there is also news that he could be out for potentially 2 weeks. That is a worry.
Oh, let's hope it's not 2 weeks because last I heard it was just a tiny little knock and it was getting assessed. But if it's 2 weeks, we can't afford to lose Bruno for 2 weeks.
No.
Especially with obviously the midfield was good today, but we can't afford to lose him for 2 weeks.
No, he's too good to be a miss. No one replaces him. It's as simple as that. And we're so in today's performance, which we'll dive into and talk about in full. will Isaac be free to play on Wednesday? I'm sure he will be. It just wasn't passed in time for him to play today. Any news on the transfer front? Nothing from me. I know the Alvarez deal seems to be moving quite nicely and quite quietly as well, just like the Isaac deal, and the Pope deal was a bit quiet, even though I called it. And there's Botman, obviously, that was quite quiet, called it. But yeah, so Alvarez could be an actual star for us, couldn't he, Liam? When you think about our midfield, he'd be sitting there and Bruno would be pushed further up. And then there's more options.
Well, the good thing about him is I looked at him I think it was 2 weeks ago or something now when I looked at him. He used to be a centre-back. He used to play at centre-back, so he's got experience of playing at the back. But since over the years of him being at Ajax, he sort of developed into that man, like an anchor man, sort of half-back, sitting in front of the defenders. So he does a mint job in front of the defenders, and he looks solid. I don't think he's the tallest, but
No, he's scored 5 goals and got an assist last season as well, though. So he's got an eye for goal, and he's like a Kante basically, but obviously Kante's on another level.
Yeah.
But that's what we need if we're going to push Bruno further up front. So it'll be a great signing if we can get him, Tommy. I don't know how advanced it is. I am waiting for information from the usual areas, but it's a bank holiday weekend, and I'm going to work tomorrow. So nothing better break tomorrow. I've got one more shift to do, then I'm off for like 10 days. Can we just please wait till and actually Tuesday? I don't want any news on Tuesday either. My little boy's got to have an operation, and I don't want to be jumping between the two of them. I just want Wednesday onwards, please. It's another league conspiracy against us. So here we go. So that was our lineup. As you can see, even the bench wasn't fantastic, was it? I was looking like how we're going to change the game, and there's only really Fraser and Anderson for me who could change the game, and obviously that made a difference, which we'll come on to later. That was Wolves' starting 11. Obviously Neves, Quality, Jimenez, Neto, Gields, the new guy they've got. They are a good team. Only one English player in that whole squad, though, on the bench. And in the first 11, only crazy. One Englishman. That's crazy, isn't it, for a team? Most of them are all Portuguese, as we don't know why.
Say the full Portuguese national teams there, other than Ronaldo.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've got a few decisions to discuss. Obviously, the first half we'll talk about. I mean, how was this not a penalty? I'm sorry. I don't care how much it interfered with him, because it's obviously going to interfere him a little bit, because he's got a hold of his arm as well as his shirt. He's pulled him back. He's off balance. It's made it harder for him to reach for the ball. It seems to me every time Sean Longstaff's in the box and something goes, it should go leading to a penalty. Remember the high foot last season? He got kicked in the face. Now this, how has VAR not called that a penalty?
They've had a stinker. This full weekend, they've seemed to have done a lot of mistakes as well. They did it in the Man United game with them. Did you see the clips of McTominay with these handballs? He had like three intentional handball. Well, not intentional, but his arms were nowhere near him, and VAR didn't even look at it.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just having a stinker again. It just makes you wonder, when is it going to actually stop? It's been put into place, and it's just not getting used. Apparently, they were going to fix it this year. Early doors, they really are having a bad stinker.
I mean, they have. Don't get me wrong; it's crap, but they have started to get in a few things right now, which is nice. Like oh man, the one against Arsenal and Leicester, the Vardy dive where the keeper could have got sent off and cost them a penalty, then it wasn't. VAR got the right decision. Trippier. Today we're going to talk about another one, but that one was just a blatant. But apparently it's not a sustained tug. So I don't want to get into the naughty side of things, but we used to say free shakes and it's a wank when you're at the toilet. So I mean, is this what VAR is going off now? Going off little school little rhymes that you used to say? And I mean, it was long enough for me to stop him from reaching the ball properly. It was a quick finish then. Way, see, someone had to, didn't they? Just like when Edison took out Fraser last season, we got nothing. Yeah, exactly. That
one was mad. I remember that one.
Let's not go back to that, because we could talk about them all night. Definitely a pen, I think it is. He's tugged him back long enough to stop him from making forward momentum and getting to the ball how we wanted to. And the worst thing about that, though, is when the ball broke inside the box, Willock was 6 yards out and he put it wide.
That's what I didn't get. How did he miss that?
I don't know. It was on his wrong foot, but he shouldn't be missing from 6 yards and putting it that far wide.
I just don't get how the way. Look how much his shirt's pulled. This is like you've got to have a look at it. There's no way they can't look at that and go, look, he's definitely stopped the play of the ball and the momentum of that. It's just how
the corner looked at it and they said it wasn't a sustained. It wasn't on the shirt long enough. Isn't shirt pulling still a bookable offence? I think he meant there. I'm sure it is, depending on it. But how did Willock miss that chance though when it landed to his feet? Was 6 yards out. Yeah. I just thought slide it into the far corner or near post, and he's put it at least 2 yards wide from 6 yards. I couldn't believe my luck when I was watching
that was
it.
Bruno was in.
Yeah, but
that was Bruno. That was in.
Poor Willock. I mean, the stats in the first half weren't actually that bad either. I mean, I thought we deserved to go in at least at 0-0, but unfortunately, a couple of slight mistakes for their goal.
Yeah.
One, Port coming to claim the ball and trying to punch in it against his own player, and it didn't go far enough, or he didn't try and catch it, or he shouldn't have come out and tried to punch it. He should let the defence mop it up. But then again, the phase of play, the ball ended up going right back to the back, right to the right-hand side, sprayed it across to the left. And then when it came to Neves' feet and he hit it sweet as a nut, didn't he?
Yeah, it was unbelievable goal, though. Can't deny that. It was one lovely, lovely goal. But it's what happens when you make mistakes like that. That's how you concede.
Yeah. I was in the thinking, he should have closed them down faster, but we did close them down quickly. And it just went through Willock's legs. I mean, there's not a lot you can do about that. And once it went through his legs and he hit it with such pace, Pope was getting nowhere near it, was he?
I thought, you know what, the worst part is, I know there's nothing Willock could have done, but I thought he should have been a lot more aggressive the way he was. He could have at least
maybe
pushed that bit harder.
Yeah, but possibly, maybe. I don't know. It was just precise, like Louis says. Yeah, he was trying to be too precise. Oh, for Willock's chance, Willock should have hammered it into the opposite corner. Yeah, when you're 6 yards out, you should be scoring in my eyes. Willock only scores in the second half. Don't think he's ever scored in the first half. It's a good point. He scored loads of goals for us in the second half, didn't he?
He's very fast, mind, Willock.
Oh, he's quick. He's very quick.
We've seen it against Walker when we played City, but he's really rapid at the minute. Where that's come from, I don't know. Someone's been keeping him on the treadmill.
We've proven today of a couple of key players missing that we're not good enough. Still business to be done. I disagree with this, Gaza, and you're going to see why right now. Because in the first half statistics, 65% of the possession, 9 shots, 3 on target, 1 off target, 5 block shots. I have never seen a Newcastle team go away to Wolves in particular, especially with key players missing, 2 big key players missing, and still have 65% of the possession in 45 minutes. That's crazy.
We dominated them on possession today. It was lovely to see as well. It was lovely to see.
And we had one big chance, which was the Willock one. We missed it, obviously. We had 6 shots inside the box, 3 shots outside the box, and the keeper made 1 save. That's probably the one thing that we need to work on a bit more, is that we didn't work the keeper enough. But even passes, they only had 123 passes in the first 45 minutes. We had 229.
Wow.
And they weren't just around the back 4. It wasn't anything like that. We were always probing and trying our best. We won 20 duels, won 6 aerial duels, pretty much the same as them. We made 9 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 4 clearances as well. So as it comes to first halves, literally, I don't know how we went in 1-0 down. I really don't.
Crazy, but it's who was it again? My names went blank. Say one of their players in the match. I can't even
we're going to come to that. We're going to come to that. Don't you worry. We're coming to that. It would take time to get the strength and depth, so there will be no significant difference no matter who takes the pitch. Exactly. But again, like I said, I thought Almiron was starting to come into his own a little bit again. But let's get the Wood bashing out of the way, because I know nobody likes Wood. So we're going to talk about him in the first half because he came off in the second half.
I'm going to get angry.
I'm going to get angry at this as well, right? I'm going to tell you why. Because In that first half, I hardly saw any crosses go into the box. Right? Our corners delivery, for some reason, Trippier was not on his game today when it comes to deliveries. They were shocking. They were even shocking in the second half as well. Someone tried to complain to me on that, and I've got rid of them eventually, that we don't play 90s football anymore, and that Wood needs to learn to play with his feet, and we don't put crosses into the box anymore. That's not 90s football. It's just football in general. You cross the ball. The way I see it, right, if we are going to play tactics where you need a fast forward who likes to play with his feet, there's no point in picking Wood. Don't pick him. Play ASM up front. Play Anderson up front. Play one of the youngsters up front. There's no point. Unless you're going to change your tactics to get the ball out wide, keep your wingers out wide, and swing that ball into the box as much as possible, and get Willock and Joe Linton to support into the box coming in late. Yeah. Don't pick Wood. Don't play him, because all he's going to do is get bashed. He's not good enough. Even though in the first half he had some lovely touches, bringing the ball into play, passing it back to the midfield. He made a few good runs down the channels, but he never got a sniff at goal. Yeah. The only decent cross came in the second half when Miggy swung one in from the left-hand side on his left foot, which is why you need the wingers on the right-hand side. If you're going to play Chris Wood up front, you need a right winger out crossing. You need Miggy doing it. And that nearly constituted a non-goal, didn't it? Yeah. And had the defender not got his foot on it, I think Wood would have put that in the back of the net.
Definitely. He's in the correct position, wasn't he? So
exactly.
Just not playing at his strengths again, and everyone picking at it.
Yeah. And this is it. If you're going to... But then the one thing I really want someone to get these stats if they can. How many crosses were put into the box before Wood went off? And then how many crosses were put into the box when Wood went off? Because I noticed more balls going into the box when he was sitting on the bench.
Yeah, that was strange. I noticed that as well.
Yeah. I was like, why are you crossing the ball now? ASM's not going to win any headers inside the box.
Ryan Fraser running in the box. Oh, we'll cross one into Ryan Fraser. What, the smallest player on the pitch? Yeah, nice one.
I mean, there was a few times where we put some good balls to the back post, and if it hadn't have been for the defender, Miggy would have been on the end of them. But again, is Miggy going to score from crosses with headers like that? I very much doubt it. But
Chris Wood probably would.
Exactly, and this is it. I mean, Wood is definitely not. I'm not saying Wood is a superhero that he's going to score every game or anything like that. What I'm saying is that if you're going to play a lump up front, you play to his strengths. You don't play to the strengths of the rest of the team, because he's the man who's got to put the ball in the net. And the only way he's going to do that is if he gets service. It's as simple as that. Yeah, never got the service, you never put the ball in the net again. So yet he's going to carry on getting all these criticisms. It's as simple as that. So that's the Wood conversation out of the way. I don't want to hear any bashing of him in the chat for the rest of the night. You've had your chance. We're going to go to the chat now to see who is bashing him, and then we're going to end it like that. I will take time. We've done that one. Unreal Baz. This time last year, we struggled to get 30% possession under Bruce. Now we are dominating the ball, and that is without Bruno. Exactly. I'm shocked. Honestly, shocked at those first half stats.
I think that's been worked on a lot in training, the possession side of things.
Massively. Last season, Wolves away was everyone feeling down and depressed. 4 days later, takeover announced. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Didn't Murphy score free kick and we won? Did we draw 1-1 in that one, or was that the season before? That might have been the season before, I think. I'll soon tell you. Yeah, season before, because they beat us 2-1 at home.
Yeah.
So it was the season before we did that. You can tell the players don't have any confidence in Wood, only pass to him when they have to. But you see, Wood is loved in the dressing room, so I don't agree with that. I just think it's the tactics. They don't play to his strengths. They really don't. All the crosses started to come where he didn't have a... Yeah, exactly. 4 days after Wolves this season is deadline day. Oh, God, yeah. God, there's not long left for that. Willock scored first half at Fulham 2 seasons ago and Brentford last season. Yes, he did, didn't he? He scored that beautiful goal at Brentford, right in the top corner. Well, luckily Chowdhury is at Watford, so we won't be wanting a £2 deadline deal. That is so true. And Mark's laughing at that one. Wood is a decent play, just doesn't suit the way Howe wants to play. Exactly. But then when you play him, you've got to change the tactics. You really do. And we didn't do that, and that's why we didn't play to his strengths. So we come into the second half, 1-0 down. We're on the attack with a corner, and then suddenly there's a breakaway, and Neves pushes Ryan Fraser out the way of the ball. Referee plays on. Couldn't believe he played on, by the way.
No.
Jimenez ends up putting the ball in the net, and luckily it goes to VAR, and the decision is no goal. Now, Jimenez's celebration, what the hell was he thinking?
Where's this come from?
I have no idea. The eye patch was not something to do with his injury, but why has he got the telescope out? I do not know.
I'm assuming some of the Wolves fans have made a joke over the time of him wearing the eye patch then.
Must be, but I mean, Jesus Christ. It's a stupid celebration, especially when it's got to go to a VAR decision. You don't want to be getting your celebration out until after the goal's been confirmed, do you? Because now he looks like an absolute muppet. But it was definitely a free kick. I don't even know why Neves was whinging. You can't put your arm into the back of a player, especially when they're off the ground. You know, it's an obvious free kick, isn't it, Liam?
Yeah, how the referee let the game go on was just mad. I'm assuming that's something to do with obviously the rule of trying to let the game flow.
I get that, yeah.
I want that, but I still don't understand it. He would have clearly seen it was a foul, and the fact he's let it continue on is just mad. It really is.
I mean, I get why he's let it go if it's VAR, but VAR had to come to the referee rather than the referee maybe going to VAR. I would have liked to have seen it gone, the ball's in the back of the net, right, then the referee goes straight away to be right. I think there's a free kick in the middle of the park. Have I got this decision wrong? I've let it flow to let you have a look at it. Can you give me some help? You know, that's what I want to see from referees. This is why referees should be mic'd up, because they should be able to look like they're actually intelligent. Yeah, and that would be an intelligent thing to do. There was also one in the first half where the referee put his flag up, and I thought he shouldn't be putting his flag up. He should be waiting to see if anything comes out of it, just in case he was onside. It was when Willock was flagged.
Yeah,
he was inside the box. He was offside though in the end, but it wasn't exactly an obvious offside though. I was a bit disappointed with Willock on the back of his heels, not getting up quick enough to stay onside. Yeah, because that was another glorious chance. Another thing that VAR tried to do was try to get Shaw sent off by the looks of it. I don't know if the referee gave a yellow card, didn't he? So
yeah, I seen that. I thought he was off, I was honest.
And there was a freeze frame that made it look worse than what it was, and it looked like you hit him in the shins. But when you rolled it through, there was no contact at that point. And the contact was on his foot. Yeah, and he was going for the ball. There was no intent to hurt the player. So for me, it was a yellow card. Had he hit him in the shins, though, he was off.
Yeah, definitely.
But because he hit him on the foot, you could see he was going for the ball. He was just a little bit too late. I think the referee made the right decision, and VAR came to the right decision in the end as well. Would have been painful, don't get me wrong. But personally, I think the referee made the right decision because he took his foot and not his shins, where it could have been a leg break potentially.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like the new situation, obviously with VAR, everyone's going to scream for it to be looked at constantly.
Well, everything is, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do Macron's realise that?
Can they wake up?
A bit of a weird one, Blade. It should be like rugby league where the ref goes to the equivalent of VAR and asks immediately to be checked. Yeah, exactly. The referee should be mic'd up, should hear what's said. It might stop the players from swearing as well when they know that it's all going to be heard on TV, potentially. You might get a bit more, I don't know, referees might get a bit more respect, potentially. Here we go. Wood was tidy, but as slow as a cart horse. We don't play to his strengths, though. Misstep from Eddie today on him. Yeah, exactly. He did try and run in channels at times, didn't he, Liam? He just wasn't quick enough. He's not good enough to do it, but he tried. And that's all we ask, is that we don't demand a team that wins. We demand a team that tries. And that's what we did today. I think a lot of Newcastle fans need to look at themselves and stop thinking we can go and win every game. We can't. But as long as they try and put the effort in, you know, we've got a great chance of picking up some results in strange places. Can't believe I'm actually a bit disappointed we only got a point. Tripp should have took the last second free kick, and we wouldn't have had to wonder if we could have won it for us. ASM Corker, though. We'll come to that a little bit. Shaw had a weird game today, seemed very unlike Shaw-like. I thought he did all right, but again, I mean, there was a few passes. There's nothing on James Maddison at the moment, Tommy. I've got no news. Just that the Alvarez one seems to be quietly going on in the background. But James Maddison would make a massive difference to our squad, wouldn't he, Liam?
Well, I'd love Maddison. Went on about Maddison for ages, to be honest, but it seems to have just went a bit quiet. But so did Isaac at the start of the window. Linked, not linked. Suddenly he's signing. So it's one of them. If I'm honest, it's going to be like with Isaac. Things are going to be quiet, and we're just going to suddenly start getting these players coming in. Deadline day is going to be massive for us this year. I'd expect at least 1 or 2 on deadline day easily, even if they're loans.
Yeah, I agree. Right, so we're coming to near. It was 8 minutes injury time. This injury time is going to be shocking this year because of all the substitutions. But I think we used nearly all 5. We used 4 up to the point where Maxi got taken off in literally the last kick of the game.
Yeah.
But the game was sort of petering out a little bit. I mean, we were trying really hard. I was surprised Miggy came off because he started to look lively in the second half near the end. He nearly got in twice with block shots. But it was actually the substitute who came on, Murphy, who made a good run down the right-hand side. It was a long ball a long pass rather than a long pass over the top, which Murphy got to. But the defender beat him, sort of took the ball off him, tried to clear it. It was a horrible clearance, and it came right to the edge of the box, I would say about 22, 23 yards out.
Yeah.
And Maxi just unleashes a volley into the bottom corner. I couldn't believe my eyes. He absolutely nailed it, didn't he?
Definitely. It shows his quality, that though. He literally, if you watch him, the way he gets himself set up and he knows he's going for that and no one's stopping him. And just the way he hits it and how it hits the back of the net. I don't even think the keeper realised that he hit it because the keeper didn't even move.
I think he just looked.
I think the keeper was like, nah, that went too quick. I'm not even jumping in front of that.
It was, he literally hit it so hard. It was unbelievable. Madsen is generally injured at the minute. Yeah, there is obviously the rumours that he might have been injured because he was moving, but he's not. He is actually generally injured. All the owners keeping some money for January to get reinforcements then. Plus, if anyone has a blinding World Cup, maybe, I don't know. I know FFP, obviously, over 3 years, they just want to keep the cards close to the chest, and we'll see what happens. I still think two more players in. You're welcome, Tommy. I blinked and almost missed Maxi's goal. Yeah. I mean, like I say, I was watching it, and when the ball fell, I thought, he's going to try and bring it down here and then try and take the whole team on. And he just thought, nah, I'm hitting this. And boom.
I think we need to see that more often, from Max. He just needs to just let the ball loose. Stop trying. I love it when he takes players on. Don't get us wrong. As soon as Maxi gets the ball, everyone's on their seats, off their seats. They're up in the sky. They're ready watching him. But he needs to learn to let loose a bit more and have that confidence going, I'm going to have a shot here. Because you've seen it today. Look at the power and his shots at goal. They're incredible.
He just needs a bit more space when he's shooting because he always seems to do this cut back in on his right foot and try to hit it. And he's always squeezed out by 2 defenders. And it gets a bit frustrating. He wanted to do something different sometimes. I disagree on Longstaff today. I'm sorry. And people are going to get really angry with me. But I thought Longstaff had a good game. He's not Bruno, remember. He doesn't have Bruno's ranges of passing. He doesn't get as forward much as Bruno. He's not going to do defence splitting passes. But he was asked to sit in front of the front 4 today. And I thought he marshalled it quite well. He broke up play a lot. He spread it out wide as quickly as he could. For me, I thought it was a good game from Longstaff. What do you think, Liam?
I'm going to anger a lot of people because I'm with you on this one. When I watched the game, he was in the correct position most of the times that he was there. He may have made 1 or 2 mistakes, but so does Bruno when Bruno's on the pitch. You know what I mean? Everyone makes a mistake. But the amount of people saying he wasn't good enough that day, it shocks us because I feel like I wasn't watching the same game as most of them. The way some of them went on Twitter that day, I was like, are you really watching the same person as I am? Because he's really had a good game, in my opinion. Yeah,
I agree. I thought he was excellent at times, especially when he was breaking up the ball and getting it out wide to likes of Joe Linton and out onto the far right to Trippier or to Almiron. He did lose the ball frustratingly at times, and there was a poor header, especially in the second half. I remember going straight to a Wolves player, but that's going to happen. He's playing in a hard position. He's got to try and win. His job was to win the ball back, to break up play, to make it difficult for them to attack. And I thought he did that really well. And that shows in the possession stats and in the passing stats and also in their chances that they hardly had any. And it took a wonder goal for them to score. So I don't understand how he had a bad game. I really don't. We have a few contenders for goal of the month. Yes, we do. Anderson to push Willock out the starting 11 by the end of the season. We're going to come on to him soon. Evening, everyone. Hope you're well. God, Elliot Anderson, so close. Yeah, we're going to just about come to that one. Maxi did shoot today, but most were blocked, sadly. Wolves blocked a lot of our shots. They did. They really did, and that'll show in the stats. Check Longstash presses for 90 when he's in the side. End of last season, he had the highest numbers in our team. That is why Eddie loves him. Exactly. And he probably did that today. And I thought the whole team in general, even though we had Wood up front, we didn't have the pace we normally have. They still continued with a high press and still did it really well.
Definitely.
And that's what we wanted to see. That's all we asked for. Effort. I agree with you, Baz. A couple more players is needed, even if it's just to strengthen the bench. Yeah, we definitely do need it. But again, this is the one thing the owners won't do. They won't buy players to strengthen the bench. They'll buy players to strengthen the 11, which then strengthens the bench because one of them will get dropped. Can't believe you said Newcastle only played the long ball. Yeah, we're going to come on to that. So then in those injury time minutes, we were the team, especially after Maxi scored, in the ascendancy and looked like we were going to win it, didn't we? And then Anderson pops up on the back post with a header. He did really well to get in front of his defender. But how the hell did he hit the bar from there?
Crazy, honestly. I know what the worst part is about him, though, for him. It's the pressure. Like, if he scored that goal, that would change so much about him in the next week, because it would just make you realise, he's got it in now. He scored a goal right now. We'll bring him on a bit more often. I think Eddie's still doing what I thought he would do all this time. He's easing him into the team slowly but surely, but he's waiting really too long to bring him on and give him an impact.
Well, he gave him 10 minutes again, didn't they?
Using him for the last few minutes just doesn't get him into the flow of the game and doesn't get him to understand how they're playing and things. So if you get him on around 60 minutes, if you want to use him around 60 minutes and get him on and see how he plays within the team. But
60, 70 should be the time, shouldn't it? Always between that and that amount if you really want to change the game with your substitute.
Yeah, not the 82nd minute. None of that.
Definitely not. But again, in the 82nd minute, it was actually 20 minutes almost because of the 8 minutes injury time, wasn't it? So I could say the same to Willock putting that shot wide. I can't believe he put it wide. We talked about that already, Paul. That was the first part of the first half conversation. We're now into the second half now. And Anderson, when he hit that bar, when he hit that header, I was just like, he's got to score. But again, credit to him for getting in front of the defender, though, and it was a great effort because the ball, he had to get round the defender, didn't he, and try and all credit to him for getting into that area. And then in the dying moments, it was him and was it Maxi or was it Joe Linton? Lovely 1-2 on the edge of the box, and Anderson was literally about to burst into the penalty area and probably score, and he got hacked down, literally on the edge of the box. We're all thinking Trippier, 75% success ratio of scoring free kicks. He's had 4, scored 3. He's just going to plant this in the same place he planted the Man City one. But he stepped away from it. And then Shaw hit that awful effort. Now, I know Shaw can hit a ball, but when it's the last kick of the game, you want the Nobby Shearer combination, don't you? Just roll the ball to the side and let them smash it. And they just didn't think that through enough for me. They had plenty of time because Wolves made a sub as well. They had loads of time to work out a plan, but Trippier should have stood on the ball, rolled it to the side and made it easier to hit a rolling ball than it is to hit a stationary ball with power. Frustrating, wasn't it?
See, you know what I think it was, though? I can't remember when. I think it was around the 70th or 80th minute. It might have been earlier. Trippier looked to have pulled a muscle. So I wonder if it was because
I think it was his hamstring.
I wonder if his hamstring had just went and he just said, look, you're going to have to take this because if I hit this, I'm going to pull my hamstring and I'll be out. So I think he took the decision to say, look, I'll pass it on to someone else, it's a bit crap because, let's be honest, Trippier's putting that in the back of the net all day, every day because we've seen his free kicks. You know how he can hit them. But if he said it just because he knows fine well, if he hits that ball and puts some power into it, he will pull his hamstring.
Yeah. Apparently it was because of that. Apparently here it is. Trippier tweeted his hamstring. That's why he didn't hit that earlier. Well, there you are.
Well, at least he's honest.
He has to be, I suppose. But for me, he should have stood over it and rolled it to the side and let Shaw hit a moving ball. And the reason why I say that is the defenders start coming out, makes the keeper harder to see where the ball is when their defenders are rushing towards it. And then any deflection could aid you from that distance, and it could just go the other side of the net where it's not meant to go. So just that Nobby and Shearer combination from that distance used to always work. I know obviously Shaw's no Alan Shearer, but you can hit a ball. It was just sorry, went wide, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whereabouts are we up to? Yes, it's okay, Paul. It's fine that you're a little bit later, but yes, we've analysed the Longstaff shirt pull, and it was definitely a penalty for me. I think Fraser played the best cross of the box today. It's a shame he was Wood's replacement because he would have loved that ball in. Can't guarantee he would have scored enough. It scored though. Yeah, it was a lovely left-footed cross, wasn't it? The one that got to the back post, and if Wood was in the middle, he would have been close to scoring. There's the hamstring one. I think it was too close for Trips to whip. You say that, but the Villa one was almost the same distance, wasn't it, last season? When it deflected off the person's knee and went into the net. Can you remember that one?
No.
Last season, well, I think we beat Villa 1-0, didn't we, at home? And it literally bounced up off a defender's knee and went over the keeper. And that's why I said, if you roll it or you just smash it near the wall, any deflection and you're in luck, really. And it was almost the same distance as that. Both Maxi and Trips were holding their hamstrings today. Fingers crossed they are both okay, or at the very least only out short term. That is a worry, isn't it, with a game on Wednesday night?
I think the worst part about it as well is I think they'll get rested on Wednesday. If they're complaining of hamstrings, they're going to be. There's no way they're going to play on Wednesday if they've got hamstring issues today.
Yeah, definitely not. And the only problem with that is, I suppose Isaac will be playing. Anderson could play on the left, I guess, as long as Fraser can play on the left. But
Yeah,
without Maxi,
on.
It's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? Was that the one Trip scored with a broken foot? That was Everton?
That was Everton. No, I think that was Everton, wasn't it?
Where he broke his foot. I can't quite remember.
That was mad that day. I remember that day when he broke his foot. It was crazy.
Our Villa was further outside the box in a better angle. There you go then. Fair enough. I thought it was very similar. Right, so obviously someone's mentioned this already, but there we go. They played so many long balls, apparently Neves said in their in an interview. Yet Wolves played 61 and we played 56.
Sees it all, doesn't it?
Now, where's Neves getting this information from? That's what I would like to know.
I think he's just angry.
Probably he's angry
because the game.
Shit, weren't they?
It'd be because he went back on that foul earlier on as well. That'd be why.
Yeah. Are you talking about the one where Stephen Taylor was jumping in front of the keeper and then he hit it off the bar and it went in? I think that's the one he's talking about. That was actually very close to the goal as well.
Yeah.
Very hard to flick it over the wall from that distance though and get it down in time. So you've got to be very skillful.
Taylor jumped in front of the keeper, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the keeper up.
Star jumps and that. Terrible.
Yeah, that was funny that day.
Guys, don't forget, hit the subscribe button if you're watching for the first time and you're enjoying it. If you want to donate, $sign in the bottom right-hand corner goes towards my podcast shed, towards prizes and a bit to charity. And also hit the thumbs up, please, if you don't mind. And then also check out Liam's channel. It's in these little comments there. Adapt Fumbless. It is a Newcastle channel. It used to be a gaming channel, but it's obviously Newcastle as well. So please check it out because he's growing and he's an up-and-comer. Right, the stats for the whole game. This is why I was laughing at a few people, especially Wolves fans online. They played all the long balls. If we played all the long balls, how did we have 64% of the possession? 21 shots, 6 on target.
21 shots a day.
Yeah. Six on target, 4 off target, 11 blocked, 13 corners. We're only caught offside once. 11 fouls, 1 yellow card, and we created 2 big chances, the same as Wolves, but we missed them both because we didn't really create the volley. The volley created itself. We hit the woodwork once. Counter-attacks only 1. Counter-attack shots, we had 1. Shots inside the box, 11. I've never seen us have that many shots inside the box before. Shots outside the box, 10. Keeper only made 3 saves, though, because that's how many times we pressed them. But if we played so many long balls, how did we have 452 passes to their 260?
That's a lot of passes.
Exactly. 82% success rate as well. So if we were that bad, how do we have 82% success rate? I don't know. There's the long ball statistics. 27 successful from 61 for Wolves. We had 28 successful from 56. So our long balls were even better than theirs. Crosses, 8 out of 33 were successful. They only had 4 out of 14 successful. I mean, come on. Even dribbles, better. I mean, they had less dribbles, to be fair, because they were playing the long ball. We lost the possession a bit more. Duels won. They won 2 extra duels, but we won 13 aerial duels out of their 11. And Botman still has not lost an aerial duel since he come to the Premier League.
Wow.
Amazing stats. I love stats. Now, we talked about Elliot Anderson. He was only on the pitch for 16 minutes. He had 14 touches and 80% pass success rate. 1 long ball, 1 successful. 1 take-ons, successful. 2 aerial duels, won them both. Ground duels as well, which is very impressive. He won 4 out of 6. He got fouled twice. He made 1 tackle and 1 ball recovery. Now, for 16 minutes, those stats could almost be 19 minutes for some players.
Shows how much he wants to get involved, doesn't it? He's got that bit of energy burst in.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
We just need to find out where he's really passionate and strong in a certain position. Because if you switch him and you put him in where Longstaff was playing, I think he'd struggle a bit.
I don't think he's a sitting midfielder at all.
I think he needs to sort of roam. I think he'd thrive though. I think he really would thrive with like that Miguel Almiron and him. I would say Maxi, but I think him and Miggy would work better just the way that Miggy plays. He likes to cut back. He likes to look for support and things like that. And Anderson loves to like cut through the defenders and break them down that way. So I think that would work. But
he played a left wing a lot for Bristol Rovers, didn't he? That was the thing. Yeah. So that's Maxi's position. But if Maxi's tweaked his hamstring, surely we're playing Anderson, not Fraser, on the left-hand side and giving him a go. But again, I think he'll go with experience at Anfield and pick Fraser over Anderson, which will be a shame. Yeah. But those stats are impressive, though, aren't they, for someone who's made his debut?
Oh yeah, hats off to him. No, you just need to keep going. I think the worst thing we can do now is loan him out, because like you loan him out now, it's going to do nothing for him really, compared to what it'll do keeping him in here and giving him experience in the Premier League. Yeah. I don't think there'll be anyone in the Premier League that would take him on loan. I don't think there's someone that would give him enough time in the Premier League, whereas we could utilise him. And obviously, if he does outshine someone and he breaks into our first team at some point during the season, it'll be hard to pull him out of it if he keeps up his performances. But we need the competition in midfield, because...
Well, look at the bench. Anderson and Fraser were the only 2 we really thought could come on and change the game. And he did bring Murphy on as well, and Richie. But, I mean, let's face it, Anderson and Fraser were the 2 guys we were looking at to go. They're the ones who could possibly change the game.
Yeah. I just wish I could put like someone else's confidence into Jacob Murphy, and he'd be a mint player. He just needs a kick up the backside and just say how he.
I think his final decision making is pretty poor, though. I don't think he's an elite player because of that. He's got pace, he's got bags of it, he's got the attitude, he's got the right attitude. Like I say, just that final decision making is where he lets himself down, and he can't finish for Toffee. When it comes to games, if you put him in a pre-season, though, he can put the ball away. It's just annoying. But again, I've always said he's a bit like a Dwight Gale. He'll thrive in the Championship, but then when he gets to the Premier League level, he just doesn't look like he's quite at it. Yeah. Blade says a long ball in Europe is considered an excellent pass. Only in this country do we think it's the old style of lump it long and hope our striker is harder than their defenders. I mean, a long ball these days is into the channel, so it's a long pass onto runners. A long ball for me is someone who, when a keeper kicks it or a defender kicks it straight, he doesn't try and get into the channels and try and find a pass. And it's just, that's when it's, is the striker going to win the header or not? Which is what we need to do a bit more of if we're playing Wood up front. Would Anderson be good sitting between the opposition defence and midfield, give him a free role? Yes, he would thrive in that role as a number 10.
Definitely.
But we don't play that kind of tactics, do we? So we're not going to change our style of play just for that one player, just like we don't for Wood. Does get an assist for Maxi's goal. No one gets an assist for Maxi's goal because it was a defender that cleared it and it landed straight onto Maxi's right boot. And the rest is history. he's first off the bench for me. He's young, hungry, and got something to prove. Exactly.
Yeah.
Does Murphy get an assist? No, he doesn't get an assist. He made a good run in that, but the defender cleared it to Maxi, so no one gets an assist for it. Evening, Gary. You're a little bit late, though, I'm afraid. Mate, go back to the start and watch it because you missed some good stuff. Also, a Portuguese player complaining about long balls is ridiculous considering Portugal's first thought is hit it long to Ronaldo. Yeah, I love it. So, obviously, man of the match was given to Botman. I kind of argue with this one a little bit. Botman was brilliant, but I think we'll go on to the next person who I think was man of the match, and we'll see who you guys agree with, yourself, Liam, and also the chat. But Botman, 66 touches, successful passes, 54, which is 92%. Aerial duels 1, 4 out of 4, and clearances 4. He just looks class, doesn't he, when he's on the ball and defending. Definitely. Doesn't dive in, lunge in. He bullies strikers as well. What did you make of his performance, first of all?
Well, since he's came in, you see how much he's changed the way the defence is and things. I thought he's something we haven't had for ages with a player that likes to... He's a defender where he goes to the ball and the first thing he thinks about was going forward. He doesn't think about going back. He'd only ever go back if it's like really needed. But he's got like a vision for a good pass as well, which I've noticed. He does like
some of the balls he sprayed, didn't he?
It's unbelievable. But see, in my opinion, he was my man of the match as well. Just the way he went on. Yeah, I just thought he was solid the day. But yeah, I love Botman. I really do.
Oh, I do. I was so happy when we signed him. So happy. But that ball from the left-hand channel, spraying it across to Miggy, I think it was in the second half, was just gorgeous. That was like a Scholes pass. It was that good. But this was my man of the match, if I'm completely honest with you. I thought Joe Linton shades it. He played 90 minutes, 75 touches. His passing success rate wasn't fantastic today. It was nearly 80%. But 3 key passes, 1 cross that was successful, long balls, 4 out of 5 successful. 3 key passes, as we mentioned. Shots on target, 1. Shots blocked, 1. He wasn't very good at dribbling, but his ground duels, he won 5 out of 10. His aerial duels, he only won 1 out of 5 today. He lost possession quite a lot, but it was a really nitty-gritty midfield battle. But I think he won it in my eyes. Clearances 1, interceptions 1, and tackles 4. You know, I thought he was excellent, especially covering when Maxi was up top and not wanting to run back. And he slightly shades it for my man of the match today.
Did one thing I noticed, did Joe Linton he played on the opposite side of where he normally plays. He normally sits behind Maxi, doesn't he? He seemed a lot more like behind Almira on the day.
I think he was a bit on the right, but then he moved to the left again. He was either side. So if you look at his heat map, that's Botman's. There we go. So that was a lot on the left-hand side, but he did go to the right-hand side when he needed to as well, which was very rarely, because you can see potentially he was more left centre to left wing, where he was covering for Maxi and doing a lot of hard work. But for me, I thought he got man of the match. I thought Botman was excellent as well, but Joe Linton shades it for me. In the chat, who do you think your man of the match was before we get to the end of the show? Please drop them in and let me know. What we got here. Almiron for me. I'm not first to criticise him usually. I thought Almiron was excellent today. He got took off as well when he was just starting to really get good. We won a lot of corners from his efforts. They were all blocked, but he started to link up quite well. I'm frustrated with Maxi and Almiron in the first half, though, when they got the chance to whip the ball and they didn't.
Yeah, I know.
That's what frustrated me. It shows today that we need squad in depth. We do need depth in our squad, and it will happen over time. But it's one of those things that's not going to happen overnight. Botman is very composed and mature defender for 22 years old. He sure is. Hi, Baz. Do we know if Bruno is okay? Pics on Twitter of him watching the match on telly. We need him for Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard loads of things. This is the problem. I'm still waiting to hear from my usual person to tell me what's going on. But there's quite a few rumours. Jesus, Maro, you're well late.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, guys. I've been a little late.
It's a little 50 minutes, mate.
Yeah, sorry. I had guests arriving in one of the apartments and they were late, so I was on the other part
should
of
have told
town.
them to wait outside. You should have asked them on the Newcastle fans, and if there were, you should have said, "Look, I'm on a show. You know, you can watch it with me." But if there were Man United fans, you should have kept them waiting.
I had a suspicion they were Man United, so I didn't want to ask too much. Just did my job and went away.
No, you shouldn't have done your job was to leave them hanging.
Yeah, should have, but I'm afraid of the reviews.
Brilliant. Hi, Baz. We know Bruno's okay. Picks on better than right. So Bruno, we're not 100% sure of. There was rumours that his wife was going into labour, but I don't think she's that far on. So I'm a bit surprised at that rumour. There's rumours of 2 weeks. There's rumours that he's just got a niggle and he'll be back for Wednesday. So I'm not going to make any speculation on this one. I'm going to wait until Eddie Howe tells us exactly what's wrong with him. Unless I hear anything from someone, and then I'll let you know. But there's too many rumours going around now to understand what the real stuff is. I mean, someone said that Isaac was in the squad and he was going to play. That worked out well, didn't it?
That 100% he was starting tweet.
Yeah. If I was to go back to the beginning now, I would be able to put comments in the live stream, guys. You can put comments in, but you'll be commenting on something that you're watching that we've already talked about, and I wouldn't have a clue what you're talking about. It's still a breath of fresh air to me. To all defenders can pass really well and even dribble a bit as well. Yeah, Botman and Shaw are just unbelievable passing range. J7, Botman for him. Evening Maro from Mark.
Evening.
Christ, Maro is in the murder room.
It's the new room. I haven't been in this one before.
It's a new room. We found a new room.
It's a dungeon.
We've unlocked a new level of Maro's house.
And this is the living room, so it's strange. I haven't done this before, but yeah, it's time.
I love it. I think the only room we haven't unlocked yet is the toilet in the bathroom. I think.
Toilet in the dungeon.
There's still time. A little late. We're finished now, Maro. We're getting there.
I know. Sorry, Gata.
Even tomorrow, does this mean we get an extra hour? No, I'm going to. I've got work tomorrow. I thought Target made a big difference when he came on. Yes, let's talk about that very quickly. Maro, I said Burn would start. I didn't agree with it because I think Target is a much better outlet for Maxi because you can run past them where Burn can't. But I understand why he started Burn. But he made the right change eventually, didn't he? Bringing Target on and trying to free up Maxi down that left-hand side with the overlaps. And you saw the difference in quality as a left back when Target came on because he was higher up the pitch. And he almost nearly got a shot off, didn't he? And almost I thought he was going to score from 20 yards, but he bottled it.
Yeah, it looked much more fluid and better when he came on. I mean, I love Dan Burn and all the work he does. He was really great defensively as always, but Matt Target offers something different, and it's much more fluid and better on that left hand side. And it's I'm not sure whether it's probably. I guess he would have started, but he's probably still not 100%. So that's why Dan Burn starting on.
He played a lot on Wednesday as well, didn't he? So it could be another reason why.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think it was a risk bringing Bruno on for only 5 minutes to go when we were winning that game. Nick Pope was brilliant. Ball distribution was good, and his sweeper last man stuff was canny too. I know he let one in, but he generally had no chance in that one. I wouldn't say he let it in. I'd just say he was beaten by a great effort. But there was times where I was a little bit edgy with Pope in the first half, where he's coming to take crosses and he never got there. I thought, please don't keep doing that. But he sorted himself out. I mean, he didn't have a lot to do, did he, Maro, really?
No, he didn't have a lot to do, and you can blame him for the goal. It was through the legs, and he couldn't see it before. Just came in front of him, and it was a really, really great, well taken shot, and really powerful. So he really had no chance there. And before everything else he did, I think he was really, really good. Just continuing his good form.
I thought he was one in the first half when he dived out towards, I think it was Neto, who dinked it over him. It just went over the bar. I thought, why is he coming out to try and claim that? I thought he should have stayed on his line for that one, and it would have been a lot more difficult to get his shot off. I thought that was a bit of a mistake in my eyes, but again, who knows? It's just me.
Yeah, maybe that one, but generally he was really good, and I really like Dubravka. I think he's a great keeper, but Nick Pope is a better goalkeeper than Dubravka. He offers something different that Dubravka doesn't, and I know a lot of people were saying when we signed him that he isn't a good sweeper keeper, but that just was the case with Burnley playing style. I think he's really good at sweeper keeper. He's more he has better distribution than Dubravka, and he can I think he's a bit faster. He can come forward and come back quickly if needed. So as I said, even though I like Dubravka very much, I think he's an upgrade on him.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Apparently, according to Michael, who's messaged me on YouTube saying how said Bruno would miss a couple of games, not too serious, but 2 games is too much, isn't it?
Well, missing Liverpool, that's massive.
Yeah. But again,
hope that's not true.
Well, I mean, if Howe said it, then it's true, isn't it? I suppose that Michael's not the kind of person who would make something up. But the one thing I would say, though, after today's performance, the way they stuck together as a team, they all gave 110%. There's no reason why we can't go to Anfield with Isaac. I think Isaac would start. I think Howe knows if he's going to play that style of play, Wood is not going to do anything at Anfield, especially with Virgil van Dijk up against him. Isaac is a different quality and a different problem for Liverpool to worry about. Maxi's hamstrings are worry, Trippier's hamstrings are worry, but you've got Mankiwa to come in, you've got Fraser or Anderson to come in, and they're all going to work their asses off. So I'm actually thinking we go to Anfield and we still give them a good game. Liam?
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll give Liverpool a good game. I think Target will start at left back as well against Liverpool. I don't think you can put Burnham against the likes of your Salahs and your Diaz and things like that. That's one thing you just cannot risk. But I think we'll give Liverpool a good game. I think we'll do exactly the same as what we did with City. I don't think Liverpool will go to town on like they did with Bournemouth, because that was absolutely incredible.
That's a fluke. It's a fluke, and let's face it, Bournemouth are nowhere near as good as us at the back or in midfield or anywhere on the pitch, really.
But they might have to rotate their side as well, Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean, any news on Gallagher? I hope he doesn't come after his performance at the weekend, but he's still a quality player, so let's see what happens. Wolves are poor for me. With Wilson or Isaac playing, they would have turned them over. Their back was terrible. Now, I'm going to point out one player, the respect slide. It is Ruben Neves. He was probably the man of the match out with both teams. He was fantastic. Now, if there was an opportunity to sign Ruben Neves to play in that sitting role, I would take him in a heartbeat. His passing was incredible for the for that chance where they just put it over the bar. The ball, it reminded me of Bruno's ball to Miggy against Palace when he pinged it to the right-hand side. But as you can see in the stats there, 1 goal, 58 touches, 79% passing success rate, 1 key pass, long balls. This is the guy who said they didn't play long balls, but he played 13 and he was 10 successful. Shots on target, 1 great hit. He had 2 blocked, 1 successful dribble. Look at his ground duels, 7 out of 10 won. He's not tall enough for aerial duels. He lost the ball 10 times. But again, these stats are incredible. Clearances 5, block shots 3, interceptions 2, tackles 5, and he dribbled past 2 players. Now, if you're looking for someone to sit in front of the back four, Maro, why not Neves? Premier League proven as well.
He's a class player, and he was linked with Barcelona at the beginning of summer. He was linked with Manchester United, and there is a reason for that. He's by far their best player for a couple of seasons now, and he's amazing. He's like John Shelby on steroids.
Yeah,
he's a similar kind of player. He can sit back. He can put a great long pass in. He has a great attacking awareness view, and can pick a really good long pass, but it's also really a defensive animal, something that maybe John Joe Shelby doesn't offer as much. He is amazing a defensive midfielder and also great in a way. He reminds me of Andrea Pirlo when he was playing. He used to play that, as you say, water carrier, or so, sitting just in front of the defense and then starting picking up long passes, starting counterattacks. Really great player. If I think there's any chance we could sign him, definitely be for that.
Yeah, Liam, would you sign him in a heartbeat?
Oh, definitely. I think the only issue I have with him is, obviously, even if it did come up, Wolves will want something massive for him. Obviously, he's the captain. He's been there for a few years. He's obviously vital in that team. We're seeing it today. But he's solid. He really is solid. He whinges, but he's solid. Really is.
Yeah. True Outline says, would Alvarez from Ajax be good for Newcastle? I didn't answer this one because Blade answered it for you, mate, straight underneath your comment. So we went over it because the answer was Blade was right, and we didn't really think it necessary to answer it because, yes, we want Alvarez. And we've already said this in the start of the show. So that's why we didn't answer it the first time, because if you look at Blade's comment, Blade's part of the channel, comes on when he can, and he answered it perfectly. Anyone think ASM would be replaced by Isak on the left against Liverpool to rest his hamstring, and Wood will be left in? It's a good shout, to be fair, though, isn't it? But again, if we're going to play the kind of tactics and football that we're playing now, you might as well leave Wood out and put somebody else up front and put someone who's quicker and likes to play with their feet, because we don't play to his strengths. So to me, it's a waste of a space, really. Play Almiron up front as a false nine. Give it a go. You know, he does it with ASM, so why not try Almiron there? I think Chelsea are offering Gallagher and Brozier to evidence part of the deal for Gordon. That is madness, that. I think they might offer Brozier and Gallagher on loan and a big fee for Gordon, potentially. Neves, I'm guessing, is what you meant to say. Or Bequeta. Any news on that one? Is Lucas holding Bruno's hand rather than David Moyes' pen? As far as I'm aware, it's going to be announced tomorrow that Bequeta's signing for West Ham. So it's never going to happen now for us. So Neves would definitely be one for me. If Gallagher goes to Everton and Chelsea sign Gordon, can we get Pulisic? Yes, that is the snowball effect that we're waiting for. We're waiting for Gordon to go to Chelsea, and then Pulisic hopefully will come to us on loan, because I would love him on loan. I think it's always been Pulisic we've been after. Others don't make sense. Yeah, Pulisic makes sense for a 4-3-3, doesn't he? Shirt sales. Keep saying it all the time. Shirt sales. FFP. It's horrible to think of a player as a marketing tool, but that's technically, he is a good player as well.
Oh, he's a sensational player. Look at him in Dortmund.
Yeah. Exactly, but he is a massive marketing tool as well. Play with no 9 at all. Hey, it worked for City. Exactly. Play Almiron there. Do you want someone quick who runs into channels and who's got a decent touch? Play Almiron instead of Wood if you're going to play those tactics. If you're going to play two wingers, play Maxi on the right, Almiron on the left, play Wood up front, and start pinging those fucking balls into the box. Different animal then. I totally want Isak to play the full 90 up front, but Eddie always throwing us a curveball, so I'm trying to second guess him. No, there's no wrong with that. I mean, if Isak plays up front, he might not even start against Liverpool. Who knows what he's going to do? We saw what he was like with Bruno and with Botman. He was trying to phase them in. I knew Botman would just walk straight in as soon as he got a chance. And as soon as he got that one game, we were all like, yeah, he's not getting dropped.
Yeah.
But you've got to feel sorry for Byrne, because I think he's the one who's going to miss out, especially when Target is fully fit. Stupid question. How much of a percentage of each £65 shirt sold goes to the club? It's not a stupid question. It's an answer I don't know, unfortunately.
Really good.
But if he sold 610,000 shirts. Yeah, 610,000, something like that. Even if they get £1, that's still £610,000, isn't it? It's mental money. You know, they might get maybe £10, 6 million. that goes towards your FFP. It's just absolutely mental. With Wood up front, I like to see Maxi right and Fraser left. Yeah, exactly. Just what I said. Get the balls in the box. We don't do it enough. Right, let's end the show looking at the table. Arsenal top. Man City second. Tottenham third after a good win today, 2-0. I had 2-0 on Super 6. By the way, guys, I'm not being funny, right? But I got 21 points on Super 6 today.
Well done.
I got all 6 games correct, and I got 3 correct scores, I think it was, or something like that. 21 points. The winner got 27. The only game he got wrong was a Liverpool game.
Wow.
No one was getting 9-0.
If you got Liverpool's right, then you're doing something dodgy.
Yeah, exactly. Brighton 4th, Leeds 5th, then Chelsea in 6th, and there's us in 7th on equal points with Man United. But we've got a 5-goal swing, which could be crucial come to the end of the season when it comes to these European places, Maro, because it's looking tight already, and it's going to be tight because it's only the start of the season. But it's nice to be there, not down in the bottom 3 like Wolves are and Everton are and Liverpool are, aren't they?
Of course, it's we are in a good position, and it's always good to start good and mentally. When you see yourself on top of the table, it gives you some extra push to continue that way, and it's a good feel around the team, atmosphere and everything. And when you have a bad start, like Liverpool, which generally they're not so bad, but for their standards, it's bad, especially before this round. And when you start, there's always some extra pressure on the players, on the team. And when you start bad, and you always try, maybe too much, to get a good result each game that comes, and that can also bring red cards and unnecessary pressure that we don't have now. We have good feel around the team. The only and when you consider it's probably the best possible time to play Liverpool. I know they won against the Bournemouth, but they are still disappointed. They are not with their previous results. They are not higher at the pitch. So I think it's a really good time. And as you said, they will have to rest players too. And well,
still no Nunes.
Still no Nunes. Yes, that's correct. And it's a good time, and it's also a good time that they don't have a, how they say, scouting report on Isak. They probably know about him, but they don't know how he will fit in our team, how he will play. So I think Howe may start with him in the first 11, and it might surprise them a bit too.
Yeah. Apparently, 6 people posted, 9 people predicted the Liverpool win right on Super 6. So 9 people predicted 9-0. That's crazy. There must be Liverpool fans or Bournemouth fans expecting a pasting.
I want to know who they are. Can the DM us next time? They're predicting something. Bet on it.
Exactly. Google reckons 10 to 50% of shirt sales value typically goes to the club. So what's that? That's £8 to £10 per shirt.
That's massive.
That's
more than I thought.
Yeah, that's nearly £1 million just from one player's shirt sales potentially. And that doesn't factor in all the other shirts we've already sold with Isak, Bruno, Botman, all that sort of stuff on it. Loads of factors in that shirt sale: equivalent rights, shirt, manufacturer cost, club cost, delivery cost. It's a financial minefield. It is, but it's got to be a big money made from it. What Dave said. I think I read somewhere that Castori do the kit deals differently. Virtually no money upfront. Payments are on the sliding scale of dependent sales. I don't know what that means. None of the 9 predicted 9-0 got 27 points. I bet they'll probably not know. They would have got all the other games wrong. Joelinton 6 with Willock and Anderson. I would go with that against Liverpool, definitely. But it depends on, you playing Fraser on the left, Isak and Almer on up front then as well. It's going to be interesting tomorrow when we talk about the game tomorrow night, looking ahead to it. So you're going to have to get your lineup 11 done for me. Evening, gents, good point in the end, but we need to start winning now. Hope we don't become a draw specialist. We won't. I think, we should have won that game, to be honest with you, today. Could Castori handle it? No, I don't think they could handle all those shirts. They really couldn't. Liam, what's coming up on your channel next, pal?
probably a few transfer things coming in that I've got in the pipeline. Spoke to a few people today, so we'll see what happens. But there's loads, and I'm off all week, but I'm out all week since my birthday tomorrow. So
happy birthday for tomorrow then. I'll say happy birthday tomorrow when it's the actual birthday, if I remember, because I'm at work. No Maro boobs tonight. That's right, but he's only been on for 15 minutes, so it's a bit,
Sorry, guys.
Shouldn't be doing any boobs in 15 minutes. To be fair, should be a good boy. But we'll be back tomorrow night, looking ahead to the Liverpool game on Wednesday, and then we'll be live on Wednesday with Gallagate Girls doing a live watch along. That is going to be hilarious. Please tune in and watch it. There should be a few drinks had as well at the same time as watching the game, because God knows what kind of performance or team we're going to put out. So I'm not really too sure. Now we'll get the wins. It's difficult playing the teams we have, and they've all improved too. Exactly, draw is a good point. That Wolves. Bournemouth minus 14 goal difference. Got to be the worst ever after 4 games. But where's Sunderland worse? And happy birthday, Liam from Blade, for tomorrow.
thanks, Blade.
Thanks for tuning in. Please tune in tomorrow night at 8:15 when we look ahead to the Liverpool game, and hopefully we'll have some good stats for you, build a bet and all this sort of stuff from the ref watch and all this sort of stuff. So take care till then, and thanks for watching, everyone.
See you later.
Right.